So the Moms Wear Capes audience is concerned with a conscious business. They want to build businesses that they live for because they're helping people. Why does skincare help people? What's the point of having good skin?
So you're taking me back to when I was 14 years old in 9th grade and just remembering the mornings where I would cry because I had new breakouts and I couldn't handle the thought of covering them up, and just knowing that the acne was distracting me from life, or distracting me from being who I am, distracting me from my potential. And being able to provide a solution to someone that went through what I went through is my purpose behind that. I mean, it is like the drive, because your skin is your presentation to the world. And you need to not feel like you need to hide that with makeup and cover up who you are, but embrace who you are. Embrace your aging process. Embrace that you can have clear skin with the right products, and there's a solution that's kind, So that's kind of the mission and the drive behind why I do what I do, is to provide people with a solution that provides them more confidence.
It is all about confidence. I'm so glad that you identified that word. If I get a breakout, and I'm not going to get them anymore now that I'm going to start using MintPear products on the regular, but I won't leave the house for days at a time. I won't go to dinner. I won't go out with my kid to the library. I'm humiliated. I feel like I've got a big red flashing beacon on my face that says, you don't take care of yourself. I mean, it almost has this energy to it of like, I've been irresponsible. I've been eating gluten. I've been eating dairy. Something that I'm allergic to. I'm unfortunately allergic to gluten, dairy, soy, and eggs, which stinks because I eat all of them. But if I don't take care of my body, I break out. And my body responds to the toxins that it's receiving.
That's 100% correct.
And breakouts destroy my confidence because they make me feel guilty. Like you've not been taking care of yourself. And I think skincare is so important. It's one of the reasons I was like, Rita, we got to get this done. We got to get this done. I know you're vacationing, but I really think that having unclear skin makes it so that you cannot live your life. You don't want to leave the house. You feel bad. You feel shame. You feel guilt. There's so many spiritual things attached to clear skin. It has nothing to do with airbrushed models on the cover of magazines. This has to do with, I can walk out of the house and smile and be myself and not think about beauty.
And not have any makeup on.
And that's
the important part,
Another story.
But this is something like, I get messages of women saying, thank you so much. I've taken the first selfie without a filter, or I've gone out of the home without makeup. And so for me, those are like the aha moments. I'm doing the right thing for women, because myself, like my husband has commented on my skin, and he's definitely not into skincare, and he has noticed, this is MintPear products, this is all because of our own products. And just knowing that that's happening to women all over the world it's such an empowering feeling. Like, I mean, it's life-changing for me.
It is life-changing.
If
anyone has ever suffered with having blemishes, even one at a time, that blemishes destroy your life, and having clear skin can absolutely liberate you to living a happier life. And it's not superficial. It's completely internal. It's completely spiritual. Yeah,
because that's the whole point behind this, is to embrace who you are. So the skincare is not a makeup line, because it's not meant to, and I wear makeup. I'm not anti-makeup, but knowing that you have skin that you love, that if you're running late, you can leave the home with lip gloss and mascara, and you're okay with it because you love your skin. And that's the whole mission. Let's talk about, when we were going through, recovering from labor. You remember your skin? Do you remember how you couldn't use anything? Like, you were reading ingredients, and I don't know if you nursed, but I nursed for 18 months.
I'm still nursing.
You're still nursing.
My kid's 2.5.
Good for you. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. I went for like 6 months, and then just kind of...
What's hilarious, my tits are pancakes. But I literally went from a C to an A. I've destroyed my body.
They come right back. It just takes a couple months. You're fine.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, you put it right here, folks. Mama's
Yes.
gonna get her boobs back.
Yeah, actually, my sisters, I'm gonna throw them on there. They actually like their breasts after nursing.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Ellie Waddell and Sarah Gustafson just wrote, they're both experts with the Moms Wear Capes program, and I believe they're probably personal friends of yours as well. They just wrote me a plan to elevate the boobs.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to document that for Moms Wear Capes.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, that's like
so
3
funny.
of us that can attest to that, my sisters and myself. So
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Our poor videographer hears so much about tits to bring home.
well educated.
For the Moms Wear Capes program. He's an expert.
So, but what I was trying to say is that your skin goes through so much in that process, right? So, like being able to use a product, these
And you're
products,
scared to use anything when
Yes.
you're nursing.
and these products are designed to be safe for
So
nursing.
I can use these
and
while I'm
pregnancy.
nursing?
Yes. You can use these while you're nursing. You can use these while you're pregnant. Some of our serums have
Wow.
maybe a little bit too much vitamin A, so you'll have to ask your doctor. Of course, you'll want to run all of these past your doctor, but we've designed them and passed our chemists with that in mind.
Well,
So-
because there's nothing scarier to me than when women say the A word, Accutane.
Oh, right. Right.
That stuff horrifies me.
Which is basically just a super high concentrated vitamin A. You're
Is it?
basically just blasting yourself with vitamin A. Yeah.
So
That's why you have to watch your liver. Because it goes
and you
directly
can't
to your
get pregnant. And
No, absolutely not. I mean, I think you have to wait 6 months
Is it 6
after
months?
the process before you can even try to conceive. Yeah, I mean,
That stuff is so scary.
yeah, there are a lot of. Okay, so going back to when I was in high school, I was on antibiotics from like 14 until like 22.
Oh.
Antibiotics
Yeah.
and topical gels and creams, and I always constantly had acne, even though I was on these
That's crazy
antibiotics.
because your skin is flawless now.
And I'm not taking anything except I'm taking like I still take prenatal vitamins.
Oh
because
yeah, that's
I love
good.
them. And
Maybe
then
that's why your hair's so pretty.
oh, you're so sweet. I just they're like my little treat too because they're the gummies. So
Yeah.
and then biotin, and then I take like some B complex. But
Yeah,
that's
biotin's
it.
fantastic.
Yeah, and then, the skincare is the biggest part, and just making
Wow.
sure that if anyone is worried about that aging process, it's really important that you make sure you get the right fatty acids in your diet. So the avocado,
Yeah,
olive oil.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What
then
about
that's-
almond butter?
Is
Is that a good fatty acid or no?
Yeah,
Avocado.
almond is great. Yeah, both.
I eat the
Yeah.
shit out of almond butter.
Yeah, I think it's really important to stay away from too many processed foods.
Yes.
So
yes.
the direct source is always going to be the best for you.
And you can tell that affects your skin.
Oh,
If you don't eat processed foods and then you go eat them again, your skin just goes.
You know what else is like the least expensive solution for like dry skin and wrinkles?
Tell us.
Hydrating water.
Oh yeah.
Have
Well,
you ever
we
noticed?
hear so much about drinking water, and your body's what, 60-70% water? So why is it so good for your skin?
Have you ever noticed if you aren't drinking a lot of water that your lips will just start peeling like the
Yes.
next day, or you feel like it's just not as like supple?
Yeah.
Your body is a direct reflection of that. So just making sure that your diet is, consistent and you're not in a drought. Water is so cleansing.
Yeah.
And so you need to make sure that you're hydrating yourself with water.
One of my favorite things about your company is that when you designed your products, and even the look of your products, you designed it with yourself in mind, and you are your avatar. You had crippling skin problems to the point where you spent 8 years taking antibiotics. And now it's like, aside from, prenatals, which, I mean, people take those for hair and skin even, you're not taking anything, and that's amazing to me. And you're 30 now?
32.
32 now.
Yeah.
What has been your biggest challenge, though, in launching your business, having a child?
I think the pressure of both.
Especially your child, because he is the
He is
tiger.
wild.
He's the
His
wild
name
man.
is Tiger. For those of you that don't know, his name is Tiger. But he basically lives up to his name 100%, and he keeps me busy. But he also reminds me of like what life is about. Like, why are we waking up in the morning to explore, right?
Yeah.
Like, not the same routine every single day. And that's how it is as an entrepreneur. You never know what email you're going to get. You don't know what's going to come your way.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with your toddler. My son is 2 years old, and he just lets you know that once you figure something out everything is going to change the next day.
Amen.
You know, it's the same thing.
That's how
like
is too.
Exactly like owning a business. So you just have to be flexible. And the hardest part, you were asking me what's the hardest part about, I think there's an expectation, well, I know there's an expectation for mothers to be perfect and to do everything perfectly. And people give so much advice of how you should be raising your son or what you should be doing with your business. And they're both like hand in hand because there are experts in both fields, right? So putting that on yourself and knowing that you're doing the best that you can and you are enough.
Yeah.
What you do every day is enough. Is something that's so important for you to tell yourself.
A portion of all the Moms Wear Capes memberships is going to the kindness campaign, and that's their motto: is you are enough.
Yes.
Even their stuffed animal that their mascot is the Enoughy Buddy.
And I love that that's your message too, like the kindness campaign, because this is like the kindness mission.
Yeah.
That's something that we've always said is creating a kind, guilt-free beauty company. You know that you. So it's like mirroring itself.
So speaking of kindness, we're talking about being enough. You are enough. And being kind to yourself will allow you to be more kind to your family and to others. When it comes to makeup, this spirit of kindness applies. And being kind to our skin is absolutely critical. One of the things that MintPear is founded on is no parabens, no sulfates, no harsh chemicals. Tell us about why it's even important not to have those additives in our skincare products, because as someone who is very nomadic, I've lived in 10 places over the last 7 years. Why is it even such a big deal for me not to use Noxzema pads or herbal essences in the hotel room when it's convenient? Why is it important to have such a clean, conscious product on my skin?
As we try to spread the education and the awareness behind why you would want to remove these from your products, it's more of an awareness behind prevention. So when you're regarding like fragrance can mess with the hormones in your body. And
so glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to name any brands, but some well-known companies, high-end companies. After my line, I went back to use some of those eye creams just to compare, of course, and I felt like I had put perfume all over my face. And I actually couldn't sleep. I had to go wash it off. It was that strong. And so when you remove it from your skincare and you go back and revert to using, you'll realize the difference of using that every single day on your skin. And of course, when you're using fragrance, you're talking about thousands of chemicals to put that fragrance together, artificial chemicals. So we're removing those artificial chemicals. And then as far as parabens have been, it's not proven, but studies have shown that they mimic the hormone estrogen, which has been found in breast cancer. And so we just want to be safe than sorry. With parabens, we want to make sure that, they've actually found parabens in cancer tumors. So this is why we are very strict about removing parabens from our line. And then sulfates can be very drying to the skin. They strip you from the natural oil, and they also break down protein. So that can actually increase and enhance the aging process for you.
So why don't other companies, why doesn't Johnson & Johnson or some of these other large companies, why don't they have conscious products? Why are they using all of these chemicals and fragrances and preservatives in their products? Is it so much more expensive to have products without those items?
At that point, you are basically looking at cost.
Got it.
It's basically
so it costs more to have a quality product.
It's preservatives, so they can have a shelf life that is very long, and it's stale technology. So
interesting.
MintPear wants to use the most state-of-the-art technology. We don't use technology that's irrelevant anymore. So everything that we're doing is state-of-the-art, proprietary. So we're constantly changing formulas, and we're constantly improving those based on not cost. We want the best product. We want to keep this at a price point where everyone can use it, but we also want to provide them with the most relevant and current product that's available on the market.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, I can't believe how many items are in my parents' bathroom, and I'm looking through. I worked maybe 6 or 7 years ago. I worked with someone on a collaboration for a testosterone product, and I learned. And after that, I never went back to like Secret or Degree deodorant. I went to organic shampoos. I have such a struggle with how much I travel, at how many times I end up picking up a Garnier or something, a product, because I'm just in a hotel room and there's nothing else. Because to see how seriously and how detrimentally our hormones are affected by non-conscious skincare products, or even toothpastes, deodorants, shampoos. When we were doing research for our hormone product, I was horrified to think at how terrible these items are for our skin. The fact that they found parabens in tumors, for cancer. And when you look at things like the Viagra usage and how men are suffering so desperately with their sexuality and with their high estrogen levels, even in something like our tap water and the antidepressants and the environmental estrogens that's found in our tap water. I give my child his water through a Berkey filter. Yeah, I even keep one in my car because I'm so scared of this little boy not being, having what his body wants in terms of a hormonal balance. So I'm really glad that you identified how serious the problem is in the products that we're using right now. It's not about beauty. Like we've talked about this whole interview, this is not about beauty. This is about from the inside out.
Yeah.
It's your confidence, it's your health, it's your hormones, it's preventing cancer. What can you leave us with today, talking to Moms Wear Capes, about building your conscious business or about choosing conscious products? What is something that you would love to leave the audience with today before we head off and go check out MintPear ourselves?
Oh, I would love to give advice to anyone that is about to jump or about to take that jump. Just make sure it's something that you're passionate about. Make sure that whatever you go with is because it speaks to you, because you dream it, because you wake up and you're excited about it, because that reflects through what you do. And I have always said this, but your work is 60% of your life. So if you don't like what you're doing, you don't like 60% of your life. And so you have to love what you do. You have to have passion. It's not just about moving products. It's not just about having a successful business that you can leave a corporate job and stay home with your family. That's a huge part of it. But when it ultimately comes down to, if your business is moving and you start seeing the cash flow coming in, there's a fulfillment piece. And if that fulfillment piece hasn't been met, it's not going to matter.
Wow.
Nothing will matter. So when you start the building process, make sure that it's something that really speaks to you.
Absolutely. That's essentially Moms Wear Cape's mission. It's mindset, mission, money. And that's what we're doing. And that's why our program has been divided in that way. It's figure out what your passion and purpose are. And then once you have that mission, make money doing it because you deserve it.
And it happens. I mean, that's the thing. When you're good at something, you kind of see those bricks lay before each other because it's meant to be.
Right.
It's meant to be. When you are on the right path, things will move out of their way for you.
Yeah. I love that you followed that path, and I love what you're bringing.
Thank you so much.
Millions of households right now, and we're so grateful that you stopped and took some time while running your business and being a mom and a wife to tell us about how you built this business, because so many of our moms are dying to do something a fraction as awesome and kick-ass as MintPear is. And so we're really grateful for you to teach us about entrepreneurship and to teach us about how much consciousness and energy went into your product.
I'm so honored to be here, Stephanie.
Thank
this
you.
Is definitely, I'm just as inspired by you, so thank you so much for this.
We're so blessed to have you. Thank you everyone for joining us, and go check out at the link the bottom of this video. We're going to get you in touch with some special deals for MintPear products. And if you have any questions, it sounds like Rita's going to answer them herself. Thank you.
Thank you.